Can we make a start just 1 second, guys? Okay. Hi and welcome to this free session for today, the 14th of May, 2026. Let's get right into it then. So I've only got 2 things on the watch list for now. Just gonna reset them all. We're gonna be looking from scratch here. So I'm gonna go to the most traded channel, see which stocks have the most trades in them today, where the real volume and real interest for all US equities are. So we've got I can never say the tickers, QUCY over here. This one, so this one up a lot from the entry yesterday. MOBX, also, we can add lots of volume in this one. So that one's up 93%, so we've got loads of stuff that's up a decent amount here. So we know it's a good day, lots of strength in the market. SNAL, got that one, AIIO. What's this one doing? Up 60%, so lovely runners. We've got DXF and Craig to check out too. So this one's on the watch list. Wow, up 120%. Craig up 90% essentially. And ALP also. And we'll look at start getting the camera maybe for the free live trading sessions. We'll have a look next week. So this is my watch list for now, guys. And now we're just going to go through these stocks one by one and see what we need. So the key thing to point out here is it's currently at 12 Eastern time. So just started the lunch hour between 12 to 1 Eastern time. And with that being said, it's not going to be, it's not going to be loads of breakouts. Typically and traditionally, it's more consolidation and cooling off around these sort of times. So I'm going to shove some level around 1.4 on this. And then I'm going to go in 20-30% gaps. 1.8 is my next level. Okay. So hold on. Okay, so we got a new support that's needed as well. So we put some in around, just call it 1.15. There we go. And yeah, I am happy with this. I'm just going to look for another resistance just in case we do break 1.8. And again, it's 20-30% gaps. I'm going to personally go with 2.3 on this. So 2.3, my resistance. And now let's take it to the 500 time frame. Turn off extended hours data, as that can be more easily manipulated. I'm going to just shove this up to 1.5 as a more round number. Okay, so a push beyond 1.5 should see us continue at least 8% on this one. So that's fine also. So yeah, it looks good, this one. A very, 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 very crude W pattern on this one. So we've got a falling wedge here. But also there's a bit of a W pattern going on. Again, it's not the best thing you've ever seen. And typically W shapes are quite bullish. So yeah, I'm going to push beyond 1.5. Should see here on at least 8%. It looks like we're going to do that now. I'm going to personally wait for 1 PM Eastern time to take any trades. As breakouts between now and 1 can be a bit less reliable because it's, like I said, it's lunch hour right now. And in lunch hour, typically and traditionally, it's low volume. And low volume means less reliable moves. But also structurally, this one should come and hit the top of the wedge around here, 1.65, 1.7. Around this sort of area. It looks good. So I'm breaking out right now on this one, and then 1.8 would be the next level after that. So let's just keep an eye on that and see how it does. And now let's go to DXF. So I'm going to remove all previous markings. I'm going to do this one from scratch. Just hold on. Okay, so got a resistance / support of around 1.2. I don't particularly like it, then I'm going to move it up. Prefer this around here, 1.35. And then we're going to measure again 20-30% gaps. So 30% is around 1.8. So there's some sort of resistance around 1.8, it seems like. And then again, we need another 20-30% gap for the next one up. And this seems to be around 2.3, around there. We'll call it 2.3 or 2.35, which I prefer, to be honest. So that's okay. Probably need a new support as well, just beneath here. Just call it 1.1 or something, or 105. Right, so this is good. You can see 1.8 is a clear resistance because we broke through it here, not by a lot, and then came back down, and now we're rejecting, showing its natural resistance. So again, SNAL, you would expect that to break 1.5 and move at least 8%, but like I said, we're in the lunch hour right now, which is 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and even back before Webull had a software, when you have to go to the actual US stock market in New York and then ring up on the phone and do all the trading like that way, they still had the lunch hour between 12 to 1 where less trades were ongoing. So it's a traditional and typical thing, which goes back years and years and years. So less deals and less trades, obviously, are therefore expected to go through in this hour. So we're just going to scout them out and then keep an eye on them for 1 p.m. Eastern Time onwards. So we have 1.8 here. Key level. Every minute we spend beneath 1.8 becomes stronger as a resistance, and the stronger the resistance, the bigger the break. So be looking for something like a 6 to 8% move once you break over 1.8, and then gradual continuation towards 2.35 on this one. However, if we were to lose 1.35, I would consider this one to be done. So that's a new key support over there. So keep your eyes peeled on a 1.8 break on DXF. Alright, now let's go to QUCY. The main one for today, I'm pretty sure. So I was watching this over 0.8 yesterday. Now it's at almost $4 at some point today. Right, so the most important things to remember when a market's like this, do not get carried away. And the most important thing in trading is that you can find a consistent, regular first target and daily amounts or weekly amounts, however you want to do it, that is enough and sustainable. More keyword sustainable for you to live off and compound upon, to have a great salary and live off this, if that's your wish, or have it as a regular sort of passive income. So the chances are you're going to get 200% every day. That's just ridiculous. So it's best to focus on regular, smaller amounts, as I'm sure you know, as detailed in our trading plan channel, and not get carried away with the big wins. And obviously, when the market's like this and you see the whole watch list up 184% on SNAL, 115% on DXF, QUCY up 85%, and then the rest we can talk about being up over 50%, etc. Don't get carried away. Still, it just means we can be done quicker if the market's good, and hopefully remaining shares run quite large. So I'm going to look for another level in between here because we want 20-30% gaps. So some sort of level around here. 1.6. And then another one around here, I think between 2 and 2.7. How big is that gap? 30%, that's fine to be honest. Maybe a bit over, but these 20-30% gaps doesn't necessarily have to be dead on. It's just like sometimes it can be 18, 19, 17% gap between support and resistance. Sometimes it can be 31, 32, 33%. It's just like if you arrange to meet someone at 5 p.m., some people might turn up at 5:03, some might be 4:57. That's the way we do support and resistance, 20-30% gaps. There's some definite resistance, 4.25. Let's just focus one step at a time. To be honest, we can get rid of this at 1.3. Right, 2.7. Just hold on. Right, so quite like this. Is a typical 1 p.m. Eastern Time setup. See, up thrust is here, 3.97. And then, we converge it to a falling wedge, the negative trend line. And unfortunately, though, the Bollinger Band Center is here at 2.95. So what we need is the Bollinger Band Center to come down, because we only take trades which are above the Bollinger Band Center. So the more time we spend beneath 2.7, the lower the Bollinger Band Center will become. So if we come down to 2.7 on the Bollinger Band Center, if we ricochet up, bounce up, and break over the Bollinger Band Center, which can come down, and break 2.7, a key level, then we're not only breaking a one-day resistance, but also breaking the Bollinger Band Center, and therefore being 65% more likely to be above there. So, and then, that's going to be a strong break, and we have all this to aim for. So from 2.7 to 3.6, essentially. Start at 25%, which isn't bad. So I'll be watching this one from 1 p.m. Eastern Time over 2.7. This stock is called QUCY. For I'd expect it to run at least 8%, but to be honest, I think this one will do more, about 10-12% easily. QUCY jumped up a lot, 3.97, came down quite a bit, but still structurally looks good as it started around 1.7, so it ran up quite a lot. So yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on that one onwards. So again, this is what I mean. We did break over 1.5 here, but we'll come back down. So again, this is why I don't take trades in lunch hour, only between 1 till 3 and 9:30 to 11, outside of pre-market and after hours. So again, this is nothing new. This has been going on for years and years and decades. Like I said, before technology was a thing, people dealing stocks, people even doing silk trade, hundreds of years ago, they had a lunch break between 12 till 1. Less trades went through, less reliable environment for trades. Fast forward a few hundred years, Weeble on here looking at SNAL. What do we see? Low volume breakout between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Low volume means less reliable moves. It's really that simple. So just avoid the unfavorable times of lunch hour. So we can scout the setup, keep an eye on it, and then when it gets to 1 p.m. Eastern Time onwards, we have a little notification saying 1.5 break. It breaks. Great, we enter with our specific criteria for entry, which is detailed in the trading plan channel and from the trade reviews. So right. What else do we have? We'll have a look at CREG and then AIIO as the next ones. This looks good. Right then, so we'll start here at the bottom, 0.2. Definitely something around there, 0.33. And over here, whatever that is, 0.45. These are quite big gaps, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so we need another level in between here. Seems like 0.26 something, which are above. And the benefit of trading this time, we've already had 2-3 hours of price action to see where your resistances have been built up. Definitely somewhere around 0.4. Right. Let's tweak this up then. Okay, so we have 0.25. No, I'm just going to get rid of that at 0.2. If we come back down there, then it's off the watch list. So we got 0. I want to call that 0.35. Then that's quite a big gap. Okay, that's more than your 20-30%. So we can just call it 0.3 in between. Faint resistance. So again, S and AL over 1.5 from 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then DXF over 1.8 from 1 p.m. Eastern time and 2.7 on QUCY essentially. Alright, I do like that 0.47 as a peak, so we'll leave that in. Right, this one is starting to come into life now, with a strong noticeable movement of candles in this time frame with the 5-minute. In the falling wedge, looks bullish. It looks like no, it's a good market. We've got lots of stuff up here, lots of high end volume. It's like being a kid in a candy shop. Lots to pick from. It all looks good. So again, just a push beyond 0.4 should see us come towards the top of the wedge. 0.44, 0.45. So expect it to run at least 8 to 10% on this one. I'm going to look for a new resistance just above 0.47. So again, we're looking for 20-30% gaps. I can't see anything more, 0.55 is fine for me. I can't see anything else that would change my mind on that. Nice. So yeah, push beyond 0.4 and this should see it run at least 8 to 10% on this. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so we can keep an eye on this in DXF. CREG looking good. Just give me 1 second, guys. Just let me sort something out here. Right, okay, let's get back into it then. So, okay, so next we'll have a look at AIIO.